All right. Well, on to AFCON conversation right now, away from River State, actually. Let's talk about other things, which is looking promising. That is the journey of the Super Eagles of Nigeria. So far, they've, in the current African Cup of Nations going on in Morocco, they've brushed aside Tanzania, brushed aside Tunisia, brushed aside, I think the last was Mozambique. And in fact, walloped Mozambique. Now they will be facing, I think, the Desert Foxes of Algeria tomorrow. And so the journey hasn't been all that smooth, pocket of incident here and there. But the Eagles have been going strong. And we understand they have touched down in Marrakech, yesterday. And they are ready to go, at least by the information given by the media office of the Super Eagles. They touched down in Marrakech, and the journey will continue. We will have with us one of those who is very passionate about the Nigerian football, the ACL Chief Football Writer, Fisayo Dairo. He's in Morocco as well. We'll ask him, what's next? And he joins us right now. Salam, Mr. Fisayo Dairo.
Monsu Femi, so nice to join you this morning from the city of Marrakech.
Right. So, walk us through the Desert Foxes. Is because of the confines of our time. We'll try and just go straight to the point. Where are we right now? The Super Eagles have won convincingly, almost convincing. The last was quite overwhelming victory, although with pockets of clashes. The Osimhen outburst, the team saying everybody is okay, the issue with the match bonuses, the threat to boycott the next match, and of course the match tomorrow. If you can do that in a minute or two, walk us through.
Yeah, in tournament lingua, especially among sports journalists, today is match day -1. So when it is match day -1, that's the time for 100% focus. All the distractions set aside, all the issues, all the internal wranglings put to the bed, and game focus. Because today we have the official pre-match press conference. Eric Chell and Moses Simon will come for Nigeria, and then thereafter the Super Eagles will train at 5 p.m., which will be the kickoff time for the game tomorrow. So that's what it is about at the moment. So everything about the bonus issues, everything about the on-pitch brawl between Ademola Lookman and Victor Osimhen, that has been put aside, because even yesterday, even after landing in Marrakech around 4 o'clock, they still trained around 6:30, and we have the official training today. The Algerians are also in town. I came into Marrakech yesterday, and quite a lot of Algerian fans on the train with me from Casablanca, a 3-hour train ride, and they are here in their numbers, and they were even asking us if we have spare tickets to sell to them. So everyone is now fully focused on the game, both Nigeria and Algeria, and that's exactly where we are at this point.
All right, it's the quarterfinals. Nigerians are scared for the Super Eagles. I mean, we're facing an Algeria, a very technical team, dangerous between the lines, and then we're also now talking about how you rate the Nigerians, I mean, the Super Eagles. Are they technically fit? Are they disposable to face the Algerian team?
Well, everyone has the right to be scared at this point, because, the last time we faced the Algerians was the 2019 AFCON, also in North Africa, in Egypt, and they beat us in the semi-final, a late goal by Riyad Mahrez, who is now the captain of the team. So if you are scared, I will understand with you. And like you also reeled out some of their impeccable qualities, the fact that they are very technical and tactical side as well. And there is this little bit of feeling also that none of our opponents have tested us as much as these Algerians are expected to test us on Saturday. So I agree with you that it's going to be difficult. Where I stand, yes, this team, although, yes, I also belong to a few that believe that they've not been tested much, but you cannot deny what the Nigerian team are capable of doing. They are breathtaking going forward. The defense could be a problem for me, because when Tunisia asked us questions, They caved in, conceding 2 goals in that game. But generally, it will take a stopping to stop the trio of Lookman, Osimhen, and Akwa Adams up front for Nigeria. The strength of the Algerian side for me is even their defense. You know, Issa Mandi and Rami Bansebaini in centre back have been exceptional. They have Zinedine Zidane's son, Lucas Zidane, in goal, and you know they have a lot of experience in the team as well, mixed with youth. You know, so I expect a good test. But can the Super Eagles, you know, swim over this opposition? Very, very possible. But it is certainly going to be our sternest test yet in this competition.
Well, can you reel out some of the technical advantage that Nigeria may be bringing to that game?
The first one is our directness. You know, North Africans really don't like facing sub-Saharan African teams because we are physical, we are pacey, and we are direct. And I already mentioned the front three of Lookman, Adams, and Osimhen. These three have these qualities in abundance. Lookman is very pacey. Osimhen is direct. Is a handful forward to deal with. Like I said in one of my previous summaries, that like every centre back in this competition has attested to, if you have not faced Victor Osimhen, you have not faced the centre forward. And he now has an Akwa Adams, who is the bridge between the Nigerian midfield and the attack. And he takes off some of the works that Osimhen do, which has preserved the striker. Because Osimhen is a player that could get injured easily because he runs around everywhere. But Akwa Adams has shared that responsibility with him and is an extremely intelligent footballer. So these are the things that will test the Algerians the most, because no team that they have faced have had this quality of attack. You know, Lookman, a former African footballer of the year, Osimhen, a former African footballer of the year, and Adams at the peak of his powers at Sevilla. So that is the strongest point with which we can harm them. So, like I always tell people, even footballers, no team is perfect. No footballer is perfect. What makes the best footballers and best teams is that you maximize your strength. So if you're able to maximize these three attackers, then definitely Algeria won't be able to withstand that superior fire.
Let's talk about, this will be a high premium kind of match, because you are talking about 3 African footballers of the year. I mean, African footballer of the year in this team. Riyad Mahrez, Ademola Lookman, Osimhen. 3 of them have been winners in the past. So this is quite a premium match. But talking about Osimhen, let's talk about Osimhen, your guy. What was that about at the last match? My question is this: what do you make of it? Is it that we are making a mountain out of a molehill, or really the guy needs to be talked to? What's your own position? That outburst.
Yeah, it really needs to be stopped. Let me start that way. You know, why I paused a bit, I was trying to find the right Yoruba adage. You know. The one that could really readily come to mind is the one that says, "Amokun eru ewo, oni isalele nwo." Abi, something like that. You know, the NFF has allowed this to fester for a long time. You know, I give it to him. I could be a calm person. Many people will say so, but you know, I don't expect everyone to be like me, for instance. I don't want every footballer to be as calm as Alex Iwobi. But so you need some mad characters in quotes, mad in quotes. But when the mad becomes excessive, it has to be checked. So you know, a couple of times Osimhen has come at people, former African footballer of the year, Victor Ikwebe, after we failed to qualify for the World Cup in 2022. Nobody cautioned him. Okay, yes, that's a social media rant. Now, when he came out against Finidi George 2 years ago, that's in June 2024, I was shocked that the NFF did not address that in official quarters. So you have enabled him, you have made him see that he could go away with a lot of things. He does a lot of things behind the scenes, in trainings, in camp, that doesn't come to the light because everyone is trying to say, okay, let's leave it to him. But when it becomes excessive, it has to be stopped, you know, you need to wade into it. So see, the NFF has enabled him either tacitly or even in broad daylight, and that's why it has grown to this part. A lot of people agreed with a lot of the things he did, especially on the pitch. You know, we could see, we could read his mouth on the TV telling Ademola Lookman that yes, it's a team sport, but asking to be substituted at that point was a disrespect to the coach and to the nation. But again, like I said, if you don't stop someone when you have to stop him, it will go even beyond. Now that there is, I can tell you, he's feeling the heat at the moment. He's feeling the heat seriously. So let me hope that this is the first time, because during the Finidi issue, a lot of Nigerians supported him as well, shockingly. So now there's the first time millions of Nigerians would totally condemn his behavior, and I hope that this will reset him.
All right, let's talk about the motivation for the Super Eagles, coming from the governments, the NFF, you know, working hand in hand. I think you were the one we were speaking with too about boycotting training too in the past when their bonuses were left unpaid or were delayed. Now let's talk about it happening the second time. The international attention, the psychological effect of these on the players, and then the part of the government in these. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, I condemned it the last time, and I will even condemn it more this time. Do you know why? They have been owed bonuses of the 4 matches played. It's not as though they've been owed for years, you know. So this particular one is ridiculous, and it's a government thing. Yes, you can say it's a lack of trust between them and the NFF, but that's not everyone's problem. They are not the first to play for Nigeria. And I was telling someone yesterday, my first major international tournament was here in Morocco in 2018. The African Nations Championship, that's a tournament for players based in your respective leagues. We got to the final where we were beaten by Morocco. The players did not get a dime of their match bonuses from the start to the end of the competition. They got it like a month after. It will come. A lot of these players know. So maybe, like I know as well, some people, maybe the NFF themselves, they don't have as much money as they do in major competition these days because of these federal government processes and bureaucracies. So maybe some of them even ask the players to, because at the end of the day, they didn't boycott any training. They did not have failed to travel to Marrakech as scheduled. So, but they forced the hand of the government. Even the Honorable Minister of State for Finance had to go to social media to state what's actually happening. So, but it's not nice having this before crucial games. We had it before the game against Gabon. We won that in extra time. But the second game against DR Congo, we were eliminated. Before we faced Egypt in 2019 at the semi-final, there was also this news. But to an extent, it was simmered. It didn't get to the level of, boycotting training because Mikel, the captain, managed it well at that point. But it was also because before the game against Algeria and we were beaten. Yes, the players remain focused, but I don't know if there is an unseen hand that follows this sort of news. Because most times that this happens, we don't get to achieve the goal that we really wanted to.
Right, and we have to go actually. Time is off, but you want to put a prediction? Fisayo, Nigeria, Algeria?
It's very difficult for me. I didn't plan that you were going to ask me for prediction, but
now I have.
But I think it's going to go into extra time. I think it's going to go into extra time. So who takes it from there is best of luck to the coach that has the better plan B.
All right, Fisayo Dairo, National Football Writer. Thank you and all the best to you. I hope the fans are cheering. I hope we have enough of them there.
To be honest, I don't think we can get up to 3,000 fans at the stadium, and the Algerians will own the stadium tomorrow, and I hope that doesn't prove decisive for them. But thank you so much. It's always nice speaking to you.
Yeah, we take it on from there next week. Hope we have better stories to tell. Thank you very much. Right, this will be the size of the program, and talk with Nigeria, Algeria.
Yeah. I mean, I'll always root for the Super Eagles.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a safe space to be.
Yeah.
Fisayo Dairo is my name. Soa, Eagles, Soa. We won't be talking about elimination on Monday because the moment you keep talking about strategy, somebody will be here. This person will be off. That is back.
We talked about hope earlier.
I'm proudly Nigeria.
Oh, good.
And I hope we can fly, but the Algerians are not small fry. Right. Again, Fisayo Dairo is my name. Shout out to the production team. We'll see you next week.
Well, we hope the oil. Well, okay. We hope the oil probably drowns our opponent and we come out flying like the Eagles that we are. My name is Temitope Ajitolonwola. See you next week. Bye-bye.